Most people have heard that radon is quite dangerous, and they would be right. Radon is responsible for around 5.3 deaths per 100,000 in Ireland. More people die from radon than from car accidents, house fires, and drownings combined. But there is more important detail that often gets overlooked. Radon gas itself is only part of the story. The main health concern is what radon turns into after it decays. To understand that, we first need to start underground. Radon is produced naturally as part of a much longer radioactive decay chain that begins with uranium-238. Uranium is found naturally in rocks and soils, although some regions contain more of it than others. Over millions of years, it slowly transforms through a series of different radioactive elements. Most of these elements remain locked inside the solid structure of a rock, but eventually the chain reaches radium-226. And now, when this radium decays, it produces our infamous radon-222. And since radon is a gas, for the first time this radioactive atom that has been trapped underground inside a solid rock matrix for millions of years is suddenly free to move. It can now escape through microscopic spaces in the rock, move through the soil, and eventually reach the surface. Outdoors, this is usually not a major issue because radon is diluted in open air, but indoors, particularly in enclosed spaces with limited ventilation, it can gradually accumulate. With a half-life of about 3.8 days, it has enough time to escape the ground, and once it does, it won't be long before it decays again. It quickly produces a series of radioactive elements including polonium, lead, and bismuth, which in turn decay again within seconds or minutes. In total, there are 4 decays in under an hour, releasing a substantial amount of radiation. These decay products can float around in the air for a while or attach themselves to dust, smoke, or other airborne particles. And if you breathe them in, some can become trapped along the lining of your airways. And this is where the real damage is done. Most of these particles release alpha radiation, which normally wouldn't be a major concern since alpha radiation can't even pass through the outer layers of your skin. In fact, a single sheet of paper can completely stop it. But that does not mean it is harmless. Think of it as a very short-range, highly concentrated burst of energy, which is not great if you have inhaled some of these radionuclides since the radiation does not have to travel very far to reach live tissue. Your body can often repair the damage, but repeated exposure over many years increases the chances that some of those repairs will inevitably go wrong, leaving behind mutations that can eventually contribute to lung cancer. Radon gas itself is still radioactive, of course, but because it is a noble gas, much of what you inhale can simply be exhaled out again. Its decay products are quite different. They behave more like tiny particles of radioactive dust. They can settle in your lungs and continue releasing radiation close to sensitive tissue. And this is why, when we talk about health risks from radon, decay products are such an important part of the whole story. So, what can you actually do about radon? Some parts of Ireland are more likely to have elevated radon levels than others. These are known as high radon areas, but a radon map can only tell you the general risk in your area. The actual radon level can vary significantly from one house to the next, even between neighbors. The ground beneath the house matters, the foundation matters, ventilation matters, and the small pathways that allow radon to enter the building matters the most. And so, the only way to know radon levels in a particular home is to test it. In Ireland, the standard test is very simple. 2 small passive detectors are placed inside the home, one in the main living room and the other in the main bedroom. They are left in place for at least 3 months and then returned to the testing service for analysis. The longer testing period is important because radon levels naturally fluctuate from day to day. If the result is above the EPA's reference level of 200 becquerels per cubic meter, there are several ways to reduce it. For moderate radon levels, improving ventilation at ground level may be enough. For homes with suspended floors, increasing the ventilation beneath the floor could also help. And for higher concentrations of radon, a fan-assisted radon sump can be installed beneath the house to draw radon away before it even enters the building. The home should then be tested again to confirm that the remediation has worked. Radon is a natural part of our environment, but high indoor exposure is not something that we simply have to accept. It can be measured, and in most cases, it can be reduced. My name is Matt. I'm a medical and environmental physicist. Follow for more simple evidence-based tips on radon, ventilation, mold, and indoor environmental safety.